Morbid Facts, Part 535. In 1966, James Meredith, the first black man to attend the University of Mississippi, planned a one-man, 220-mile march against fear to encourage black people to vote. But despite a police presence just 2 days into the march, James was shot in the neck, back, and head by a white supremacist. He was quickly rushed to the hospital and ended up surviving his wounds, while his attacker only received 2 years in prison. Later that same year, James completed the march, by which point over 10,000 people had joined him. James is now 91 and still lives in Mississippi. Depression-era gangster John Dillinger survived a shootout with the FBI, robbed 24 banks and 4 police stations, had plastic surgery to change his face and remove his fingerprints, escaped from prison using a wooden gun, and led the government on a year-long chase that cost them 4 times the amount he had ever stolen. After Dillinger was finally shot and killed by the FBI in 1934, bystanders rushed to the theater where he was killed to soak their handkerchiefs in his blood, while thousands stormed Chicago's morgue to have their photos taken with his corpse. Morbid Facts, Part 534. In 2017, a 16-year-old girl died of complications from Rapunzel syndrome. She was badly addicted to sucking and chewing on her own hair to the point where a massive hairball developed in her stomach. An ulcer eventually formed and burst, leading to the failure of her internal organs. Legendary horror film makeup artist Tom Savini worked as a combat photographer during the Vietnam War, which later influenced his impressive, gory effects. He once said, "I hated when I'd watch a war movie and someone died. Some people die with one eye open and one eye closed. Sometimes people die with a smile on their face." English musician Keith Relf was the original lead singer for the legendary rock band the Yardbirds. But in 1976, he died from accidental electrocution while playing his electric guitar in the bathtub. In 1993, Pennsylvania logger Donald Wyman was cutting down some trees when a large log suddenly rolled onto his leg, trapping him. After an hour of bleeding profusely and screaming for help, Wyman decided to cut off his own leg with a pocket knife. He then crawled to his bulldozer, pushed the tree off his severed leg, and had it reattached by surgeons in the hospital. Morbid Facts, Part 457. In 2002, Pennsylvania mother Brenda Heist completely disappeared after dropping her 2 kids off at school. 11 years later, she was found living with a group of homeless people in Key West, Florida. Investigators found out she was upset about an upcoming divorce and wanted to completely abandon her life as she knew it. Brenda survived by living under bridges and eating scraps of food until she got tired of running and decided to turn herself in. Her family wanted nothing to do with her since they thought she'd been dead for years, and her ex-husband was even treated as a suspect for her supposed murder. Just last year, 16-year-old Marie Antoinette Coutillo tragically died after her phone fell into the bathtub while she was on a call with her friend. She'd been charging her phone while using it and apparently dropped it in the water at some point, resulting in her electrocution. Marie was eventually found unresponsive by her parents and rushed to the hospital, but doctors were unable to save her.